looking like a 2-week-old haggis.
House chores.
Well, maybe it's time for a little fun.
I could use some fun.
So, what are you gonna do about it, lad?
Well, maybe if I hurry.
Hard, 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 hard!
Yeah. I can finish this later.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts is at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, February 18th to 26th. Come for the fun and live it live.
Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
With your site for the Ladies Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, brought to you by the Ontario Cricket Association. It's another glorious day here in Covert as day 7 and playoff day for these ladies is set to begin. My name is Ian Tetley and I am joined by my co-host and former Ontario Winter Games gold medalist, Rebecca Wickershure, and our on-ice commentator, Jason Chang. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you all the live streaming curling action for the balance of the weekend. All of this live curling action is brought to you by Title Sports Live. Well, Rebecca, on this Saturday morning, day 7, we enter playoff day for the ladies. Our key ladies semifinal matchup today will feature Toronto's Kathy Auld up against Ottawa's Rachel Homan. Both ladies getting to this point via their round-robin records. Kathy Auld survived a tiebreaker game last evening by defeating Allison Flaxey 10-5. So what are you expecting to see here today, Rebecca?
Thanks, Ian. Should be a great game here today between both these ladies. As you said, Rachel going 5-2 in the round robin, got her a second place finish and into this semifinal. Kathy Auld came through that tiebreaker game last night playing very well against Team Flaxey. Rachel's been playing with a bit of her ox in play so far this week, and I expect to see more of that today. Kathy's not afraid to have to draw that forefoot if she needs to, so I think they'll have a great game here this morning.
This semifinal game between Rachel Homan and Kathy Auld, obviously the winner will go into the final game tomorrow against Jacqueline Harrison, who had a almost flawless record here this week. She went through the round robin at 6-1. The Homan team went through the round robin 5-2, and Kathy Auld's team went through 4-3. So, going to be a great day here today, Rebecca.
It sure is our feature match. On sheet D, there's one other game on the ice today. On sheet C, that's a men's tiebreaker match happening between Team Ballston and Team Moss. The winner of that game going on to a second tiebreaker match against Team Wayne Tuck later on today to see who gets that fourth and final playoff spot in the men's Recharge with Milk Tankard. So, exciting morning going on here at the Coburg Community Center.
And by virtue of her round robin play, Rachel Homan having the better record than Kathy Auld, Rachel Homan will take the hammer into this first end. The teams have had their 7 minutes of warm-up, and we're set to begin here.
So Team Auld lead. Jenna Bonner going to be starting us off here.
Sorry. .28-year-old Jenna Bonner from Peterborough, Ontario, going to start us off here for the Kathy Auld team.
3, 2.
I think she initially wanted it in the rings, but it looks like it's going to come up a little short.
Jeez. Yeah. Holy. Is it a curl there? Yeah.
Just got a biter there. Good sweeping.
Check control. Normal? Oh, okay.
Both teams getting 40 minutes of think time for their games today.
Yep. Whoa.
31-year-old Lisa Weigel starting it off for Rachel Homan. Will nose that and stay in the free guard zone, so it cannot be removed from play. So that will force Jenna Bonner to throw the out turn draw around.
It's the opposite. It's more. Line's good.
Yeah, 7. Don't want to yet.
The ice crews this week have done a phenomenal job making
Line
sure that
only.
these players have got the best surface to
Line
play
only.
on.
Maybe surrounding might fit it on.
Okay. Shot.
Ice has been running approximately 14.5 to 15 seconds between hog lines, somewhere around 3.9 to 4 seconds back line to hog time.
I think it's good here now.
Good, Jenna.
Absolutely, they've been working really hard this week to make sure these players are getting lots of curl
Line's good.
and that speed
Good.
staying
7.
consistent. So good job by those guys so far this week.
8. The line should be close.
Kate,
Less than
we're
10.
still
Actually,
there.
9 even. It's still carrying.
10.
Jenna slipped a bit behind the tee line.
It's a cat.
So Lisa's trying to freeze to that, I think.
Trying to remember your rocks.
Yeah, that's sort of the
Playing the run, Joe?
the first error from Lisa Weagle.
This is getting pretty quick.
Yeah,
eh?
it's the fourth
I didn't
one.
think it was hacked though.
This is going to give
That's crazy.
38-year-old Karen Rousel from
8.
Uxbridge, Ontario, the opportunity to wrap another stone around.
Okay. It's not bad. 7. It's trying. 5, 6.
I think we're sliding still. Lots of weight.
It's coming down. Still a little heavy, yeah. Nice shot.
Cat?
Do you want 1 on top?
You know, I always wondered at this
I
point
like
if
the run now.
Okay.
she should almost even, she's going to run this rock back, but
Yeah.
another smart shot would be to try to
We can roll it on.
draw a freeze. But if you even
Pretty
just
straight
split
here.
the top rock onto the rings, you'd
Nice,
have
Karen.
2 on the rings yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Joanne Courtney.
Hard. Really hard. Hard.
You got it, you got it.
Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Great throw.
Gonna miss those ones in the rings. Rolls her shooter to a biter.
And that's the really important part that she did there. Actually, she kept her shooter in play. It's a biter. They obviously, Kathy in the first end, not going to take any chances. Going to make a play on this. But unless she rolls in front of her own rocks here, it's going to give Rachel and her team the opportunity to make a play on those stones.
A little back, it would have got up.
Karen Rousel here,
It's just really hard.
trying to hang around, and she will hit and roll away. And this will give Rachel Homan the opportunity to make a play on these 2 Auld stones in the back of the 4-foot.
Same release, just a hair more ice. It was an 8-9.
What do you think, Rebecca? Would you just try to slash these out, or would you try to play a soft nose hit?
I think I'd try and play the soft nose hit.
Hold it hard. Hard. Keep going. You got it. Keep going. Keep going.
Great shot.
Very nicely done.
Well, I think Rachel's team has always sort of. I think they've probably had more blank first ends than any other team in history of curling. I think they prefer to try to blank the first end. I know from some of their stats from years gone by, they were like, for the longest time, I think they won like 90-something% of their games when they blanked the first end.
That'll probably be good next time we play there.
That's an impressive stat. But they're absolutely one of the best teams in the world at bailing out of an end, trying to clean things up. They have so much weight in Joanne Courtney and Emma Miskew. They can clear a lot of rocks out of play at once, so that really allows them to blank a lot of ends and get out of trouble.
So she steps on the carpet to take the carpet off. Straight through.
43-year-old Lori Eddy making that shot.
I thought you were 9.5. Did you correct us? Just clean.
And now Emma Miskew,
Yep.
the Ottawa native. going to try to hit and change the location here if she can.
If you can roll it.
Closer to like 8.5, 9.
Great, okay.
Well done by Emma.
Same release on both is great.
I guess, like, you definitely went wide recently.
What would those people do?
So we've had a great week here so far in Coburg. The ladies just concluding their 7-game round robin.
Pretty positive.
Jacqueline Harrison team coming through at 6-1. And we'll be into tomorrow's final.
9.5.
Rachel's team finished the round robin at 5-2. And the Kathy Auld team at 4-3.
I think it's good.
And Kathy Auld, obviously, she survived the tiebreaker last evening. So that sort of brought us to where we are today.
I threw a little more weight because
Yeah,
I
you
did
did.
a woo.
It's still 9.5.
Yeah. I had a little wobble.
Same weight?
Same thing, yep. Yep, yeah, then. Yep.
Emma Miskew. Making that open hit.
Can't roll it.
Oh, didn't even see you down here.
Nose hit.
9.5? 8. Okay.
A force field in there.
Kathy Auld, the 40-year-old native of Toronto. Now going to throw her in-turn hit. Kathy, a 7-time or 9-time Ontario provincial Ontario participant. Participant.
I stand more. A quarter on them. Hey. Yeah, 10 on them. Good.
Kathy makes that hit. So at this point, they're just going to go through sort of the exercise of exchanging stones here. Rachel obviously going to be hoping for the blank end to move into the second end, where a lot of teams like to, in the even ends, like to get a little bit more aggressive.
Clean it. Off. Close.
Yeah, whoa.
Yep.
Yep. Whoa,
Hard.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Off.
And Rachel's going to roll out here, so that's going to give Kathy Auld the opportunity to test out draw weight and make sure that she's comfortable with that.
Line's real good. 4. Going over center. 5. Yeah, then. It's not curling yet. Not curling. Not curling.
Yeah, easier roll up behind.
Nice.
Hog to hog there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Howan sliding
Wait,
into the
wait,
back 12-foot.
Done.
Sweepers were a little surprised up by that one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of the.
Well, I went right back to the back 12-foot, and this should give Rachel a fairly routine and easy opportunity to hit and roll out of the rings. The minute I say that, they always seem to nose it. So let's hope that she can do that and carry the hammer.
Hard! Yeah, yeah. Hard, Joel!
On this out of her hand.
Okay, well,
Ooh, you did jinx them, Ian. So it'll be a score of 1 here for Team Homan in the first end. Kathy Auld will take the hammer going into the second.
It's almost like God's a curler, and it's supposed to be a pretty routine end, and especially when she throws on the back 12. But I think everybody starts to think, oh, this should be an easy peel out. So, and then she noses it. So after one end of play here, we're going to have a score of 1-0 for Rachel Homan, and Kathy Auld will take her opportunity with the hammer here in the second. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how Rachel starts out this this second end. You know, we kind of noticed that Lisa Weigel struggled in that last game that we watched on our telecast against Allison Flaxey. So, and we just saw her throwing through the rings again last end.
Very true. She's going to be looking to improve those stats today, have a better game against Team Auld this morning.
Front of the tee. Looks good. Switch.
Man. Whoa. 5-6.
Looks light.
We're on the lighter
Looks
line
really
than
light.
we were in practice.
Okay. Can't hurt that. Go. Yep. Keep going. Hard.
Great sweep.
Nice sweep.
Nice weight there by Lisa.
Well, essentially, Lisa puts it top of the forefoot. Kathy's going to throw the corner guard, and then I fully expect that Rachel will try to throw a tight center guard, and then it's going to be game on.
All the way. Sorry.
Good corner guard there from Jenna.
Good sweep. Shot. Yeah.
Lisa Weigel here now. I'm going to try to throw up a tight center guard.
It's close. Line's good. Not in.
Okay.
Looks good.
Should say tight line? It looks like 2 line.
3. Not in.
Okay, we're there.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Never.
Sit.
Well,
I'm trying to wish this to slow down so it doesn't go in the rings, but it will slide into the rings here.
Slow spot. Sorry?
It's going to allow Kathy Auld to hit it.
I mean, just keep it up.
Trying to hang this rock on in behind their corner guard if she can.
Hi, girl. You see it all, plus. Okay. Control.
I think they hung on for shot rock there as well.
Yes, control. Shot, Jenna.
Jenna Bonner being the cousin of John Epping.
Yeah. Wait, what's not
Great bloodlines there. And that was a great double and roll to open up the center and hopefully force some play around the corner guard now.
Really hard. Whoa. I want to keep the shooter. No. Good.
Nice shot there by Joanne.
Almost bored, eh? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't really worried about it. No, not really. Just because I'm
Board. Board up.
Karen Rousel here, trying to make the in-turn
Board
hit.
up. Long roll.
She's looking like she's a
Long
little hot.
roll.
For weight.
Stay shot.
Oh, this is, she can hang in
Stay
for,
shot.
oh, that ends up being a great stone.
Very nice.
So the beauty of that shot is that it draws everything,
came
away,
down.
all the attention away from the corner guard. And here's
Yep.
Rachel will hit this and probably nose this rock in the back of the rings. And then Kathy Auld, if she chooses,
come up ahead.
can actually draw around the corner guard.
It might have been a touch-up, but I wouldn't complain about it.
Trying to obviously create her deuce opportunity.
Clean. Normal. Yes. Yep. Down normal. Hard. Really hard to stay. Gotta go. Hard push. Hard. Ooh. Okay.
Joanne Courtney rolling out. Just leaves there one stone biting the 12-foot there. Kathy gonna ignore it, go around her corner guard.
And this is, to me, this is a great play. Like, you've got the corner guard, you've got the last rock. Try to create your 2 points. Because if she gets fully buried behind the corner guard, providing it's above the tee line, you would probably see Rachel walk up and feel the center guard, or the corner guard.
Yeah, we're deep.
And then force Kathy Auld to try to hold her deuce. This is looking hot. And it's going to slide through the back.
Missed opportunity there for Team Auld.
Well, it's a huge, you know, and this is where,
You should come up here.
for Kathy and her team, I do not think that Karen Rousel or Jenna Bonner have been in this situation before. You know, it's interesting, all week long you seem to play with all the other teams out on the ice. And I'll never forget my first Briar, and it was like everything was fine and dandy and comfortable, and then I remember going out for a semifinal game, and we were the only game out there, and there was a whole bunch of people in the building, and I was like, oh my God, I could not believe how nervous I got, just because it was like, it sort of finally sort of hits you, you know, all these people are here to watch you.
Right.
Well, now Kathy Auld will not take any chances with Lori Eddy. She will try to get her to remove the Homan stone.
Kathy kind of forced to switch gears here. She's going to be looking to blank this end.
Well, once Rachel peeled that corner guard, there was no real need to stay on the offense. She's going to just peel her rock out at this point. She's going to try to blank the end and carry the hammer into the third end.
Clean. Yep. Yes. Just clean. Whoa. Want to try and roll in the middle?
Nice nose hit there from Emma.
Okay. It was like 3/4 high to nose. No, I just thought it was in a chrome.
But I think they'll be fine here. Four 9.5, I think.
Lori Eddy played in the Canadian Scott Tournament of Hearts in 1997, playing for Allison Goring, and they ended up losing the final that year to none other than Sandra Schmerler. So Lori took some time off after that, had family, and has come back to the games. It's great to see someone with her talents back in the game.
Absolutely.
Extra ice in the path, so just be careful. You don't drink too much.
Hang on. Yeah. It's sneaking up on me like that. All right.
Rachel going to try and throw her in-turn hit here and hang around somewhere in the rings.
Okay, well, clean. Clean it. Hard. Yep. Hard. Right to it. There we go. Nice one.
Nice shot.
Yeah, whole way. I do extra.
You know, for Rachel though, like she's thrown 3 rocks so far, and they've all been fairly heavy hits. So when all of a sudden she needs to turn around and throw a draw, you know, it's going to be a bit of a guess, relying on her teammates' feel and timing information.
You're right. Kathy got the chance to draw last end.
Like normal middle of rock.
Rachel hasn't had that opportunity yet.
She said it. Middle rock, normal. Hers didn't move at all. It was a new path. She also said it though. Straight through, normal.
In the other tiebreaker game on the men's side, the game between Cody Moss and Greg Baldston. Greg Baldston picking up 2 points in the first end. Actually, he stole 2 points in the first end,
Clean. Oh,
which is a rather auspicious way to start. And
clean, clean. Don't need to. Clean. Okay.
Rachel throwing the out turn this time,
Very
hanging
nice.
around. Gonna force Kathy Auld to make that hit to double them out.
Just set it a hair normal. Never get it back. Nice job. Yeah, I know. No. It was like a gentle set. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Last stone here of the second end.
Yes. Hard. Hard.
Oh my God.
She'll flash that stone, so it'll be a steal of 1 here in the second end for Team Homan. They'll take a 2-0 lead over Team Auld. And we will be right back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Cobourg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live.
Welcome back to Cobourg, Ontario, site for this year's Ladies Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts. We are here with our feature match between Team Homan and Team Auld.
Good to go, guys.
Rebecca, obviously, Kathy Auld flashing that stone in the second end was definitely not in the game plan for one. But obviously it sort of changes the
Top 12's okay.
the outlook of this game so far, because it has been a very defensive game. There's been a couple of opportunities by Kathy Auld that end to try to generate 2 points. But Karen Wildzel throwing it through the rings. And then for Rachel, that is a very fortunate steal.
All there.
Well, you're absolutely right, Ian.
all there.
Rachel missed her shot for the blank opportunity in the first end. That's what resulted in that score of 1. She knows the rock in the back 12 foot. And then sort of the opposite type of miss for Kathy there in the second end, and she flashed. So now Rachel has a 2-0 lead here playing the third end. As you said, Team Auld did have a couple opportunities. They had a corner guard that they couldn't really utilize, so they're going to try again here, throwing up another corner guard.
Yeah, and she's got a 2-0 lead with, in my estimation, not really making many shots. Obviously, just making open hits.
Absolutely. These ends been very open so far.
This is really going sideways. Even if you're like top 4 in front of it, it's
Jenna Bonner being asked to throw up the corner guard by Kathy Auld.
It just has no handle, yeah. Too Not in.
I think I just didn't. I wasn't really positive.
That's okay.
One of the things we've noticed here this week is that
Same thick.
Yes.
if the players have not put on a lot of rotation on their handles, as we see Lisa Weigel throw this stone,
Looks heavy.
you know, she's got at least 3 to 4 rotations on her handle,
Let it stop.
so her
Betty.
rocks run very consistently. Probably why she's been so successful in making the Weigel wicks, as we like to call them. Yeah, but if somebody's thrown a handle with about, you know, two rotations, the rocks just seem to go sideways.
Exactly, the rock's gone at that point if you don't put the proper amount of rotation on it.
No, that's okay.
Some of the only challenges that the players have encountered this week is sometimes late in the games, I think through the fact that we get
Nice 10.
brushers that are so strong and so efficient that, you know, after time the pebble starts to wear down a little bit, and late in the game it may go a little bit flat. Sometimes this
weight on that.
leads to the odd little pick. We saw it happen in the Glenn Howard game against John Epping, and you know, it's unfortunate sometimes when it changes the outcome of a game. In that case, it didn't really change the outcome of the game, but it you know, when you lose a half shot or a shot because of it, it's you know, it's difficult to come back with, and sometimes you just have to try to overcome it, because it's almost like an obstacle that, you know what, if you let it affect you, you know what, it's gonna affect you long into the game. It's like you need to be able to dismiss it and move on.
Certainly the ice conditions are out of your control as a player, so you really just need to focus on the things you can control. Your own delivery, your rotation, the sweeping calls, and try to manage it that way.
You know, it's almost like a golfer, like on the PGA Tour, and he hits a great drive out there, and it hits a sprinkler head, and it goes out of bounds. You know, it's a little bit of the rub of the green. There's not a lot you can do. You know, you just have to try to recover and move along.
All there right now.
Karen Rousel going to try and throw the out turn draw around. And once again, they're not even touching a broom to this. Rachel going hard to get that out the back.
Feels a little bit like deja vu going on from the past.
And she successfully does that.
Shook him up a hair, but it's a pretty high guard.
Yeah, I think
give it a see. Turn it around.
when you're down in a game like this, Karen Rousel needs to understand that, you know, even if she comes up short, it's still a stone that can be used for later on. You really have to concentrate on, you know, probably throwing it lighter than you really need to think you do, especially when you're nervous. Like it's, I always found that, you know, when you're trying to make a big draw late in the game, a lot of times you almost got to feel it out of your hand like it's light.
Real good, and it's still difficult. Okay.
It was like a billion one.
Okay.
Like as it comes in, she would have hit more of it. But
Okay. Still, we didn't hit much of it.
All right, 10.
The sweepers are able to do so much on this ice as well. They can carry those draws pretty far.
10.
So you have to remember that as well.
Yeah. I'm like, no, 3. No, that's right. Sure.
Nice shot, Karen.
Okay. Kate. Sure. Normal. Nice shot, Karen.
Emma Miscue here, now going to
Nice weight on that.
throw the in-turn hit. Obviously, Emma, a big part of the 2013 and 2014 run that the Homan team had when they won the Canadian Scott Tournament of Hearts. And They end up losing the world final that year to Eve Muirhead.
To the back of the house?
It's going to the wing.
I actually attended that world championship because my wife was there. I was in Riga, Latvia.
Yeah. I thought it was a great drill. I still expect it because I was kind of drifting.
Well, this is going to give Laurietti a practice, an opportunity to practice her draw.
Yeah.
Try to get her draw weight down.
And they didn't touch it the full way. Like if you
7, 8. You didn't take any off, eh?
Eight. You're okay with that release the straight side, but
No, it's heavy.
She can freeze her own rock at the back of the 12-foot here. It may make life a little bit more difficult for Rachel and her team. And once again, she's going to slide through the rings.
Team Auld having a bit of a tough time with draw weight out towards the wings there.
Unless you want to go
Seems
over
fairly
here.
quick.
Well, a lot of times what happens actually in a building such as this is that, you know, they played the evening draw last night. The building starts to warm up just a tad, and sometimes the ice slows down just a little bit. You know, it's the end of the day. There's been a lot of people in here, and the ice starts to slow down. So once the building has an opportunity to cool off, especially first thing in the morning, the ice sometimes is at its quickest.
It's just I haven't been light all week, so that's why I'm like trying to say less. 10? Looks like 10.
14, 10. That's gonna be 2.
Emma's getting her first opportunity to throw a draw, and once
This one
again,
heavy as well.
you know what? This is for ladies of this caliber.
It's not just me.
Yeah, that wasn't even like
This is
It's
terrible.
surprising.
Yeah. Let's call a spade here.
almost curled off his backboard by the end. FYI. Yeah. Yeah, that's like
Rachel coming out to talk to them about this. They're really trying to communicate about the ice here and get a good handle on what draw weight is.
4 and 7.
Well, only because Rachel hasn't thrown a draw. Now, all of a sudden, if she had to get into the hack and throw a draw, and she's watching everybody throw it through the rings, like she's kind of going, okay, well, what's the weight?
Exactly. How
You know.
quick is it?
great weight.
It goes if he knows it.
Yay, we got one of the rings.
Same ice again for Joe's. Okay, but it's a lot deeper.
So Rachel's just going to come down and throw her out-turn heater here and try and slash these rocks out of the rings. And at that point, Kathy Auld will
Doesn't move much.
try and blank the end again.
It's got like 15-50 parallels, so stay with this. Nose is okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Can we clean?
No.
Really?
Just hit.
And she just makes contact to make sure she removes those stones.
Nicely done.
We had that same piece of
Gets a bit of applause from the crowd here on that one. I think they're maybe waiting for
You on the other side?
some of those Rachel Homan shots, those big
Really good
shots.
throw. Just
They
kinda
might be
backed up,
looking
yeah.
for a little more rocks in play too.
Yeah. I figured we had it. I just didn't want to like put
Well, it seems that Rachel has a good following here. Difficult to say right now if the crowd is more
to know.
pro Homan or pro Auld.
Yeah. Oh, and you giving that tight ice?
We'll have to send our on-ice reporter Jason Chang out to
Absolutely, take a little survey.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, no, it looks like a great throw.
6. All you.
Yeah, I think so.
Cleaning. Okay. It's not busting at all.
Oh.
Trying.
Just behind
Kathy once again getting the opportunity to practice her draw weight here.
Comes up a hair area.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
So it's like 15 and sweeping. So it's like 15 and a half.
So I know the hog, Karen?
15 without a session.
Yeah.
I was just cleaning that
curls
special.
Yes. Absolutely.
Rachel not going to take any chances here, just going to slash this out. Hopefully hang around to force Kathy to once again try and blank the end.
Yep. Clean. Hard. Hard.
Right to it. No roll.
Nice sweep, guys.
Nice sweep.
Good shot there by Rachel. Rolls it a bit closer into the center line.
Just a hair softer than I wanted. It's just hard to believe it's going to come back. Thanks. Even with my normal.
All right.
Nice throw.
Nice. I know. You have to like go like, oh, my last one over here. Like, I'm basically like, no.
9. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes. Hard.
Well, Kathy's not going to be able to make the blank here, and will score a 1 point here. So after 3 ends of play, we have Rachel Homan 2 and Kathy Auld 1.
Absolutely, and our on-ice reporter Jason Chang is down at ice level. He has a special guest, Mary Chilvers, coach of Team Auld.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca. Good morning. We are at ice level of the beautiful Cobourg Community Centre watching semi-final action of the Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts and the tie-breaking game of the Ontario Men's Terrier. I'm joined by Mary Chilvers. She is the coach of Team Auld. Good morning, Mary. The Kathy Auld team had to play 3 games to get here to this semi-final game. How did you guys slug through the 3 games last night? And what's your mentality coming into this morning game?
Well, actually, a lot of times when you have to play 3 games, you're kind of going on adrenaline. And, you know, there was a possibility we could have had to play midnight, which we were very grateful we didn't have to. So, you know what, they played fantastic last night. They were a little tired at the end of the day, but all's good.
Now, I saw Kathy just nose hit a blank attempt, I think, and she missed a blank attempt in the second, and a little bit of nerves for the Kathy Auld team to start here. This is an elimination game, of course. The winner goes on to the final.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They're playing against one of the best teams in the world, but they've played her a lot. Kathy, for sure, is a very experienced skip, so no, I do not think nerves are in effect, and I think it's going to be a good game.
Well, good luck to the Kathy Auld team. Mary, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, just to give you an update on the other game, the tiebreaker game between Cody Moss and Greg Balsden. Greg Balsden stole 2 points in the first end after Scott McDonald, the 4th stone thrower for Cody Moss team, rubbed the guard on a double attempt. Cody has come back with a single point at the third end. It's 2-1, Balsden with hammer and 4.
Thank you, Jason. Mary Chilvers, obviously the 2-time Ontario Scott Tournament of Hearts champion. She played lead for Allison Goring back in 1995 and 1997. Actually was a teammate with Lori Eddy when they lost the final in 97 to Sandra Schmerler.
Brings a lot of experience to this team.
Karen Rousel trying to get up a second center guard, and it's going to slip into the rings here.
Jenna's first stone, not really getting to the center line. Lisa made a nice come around there. Jenna's second stone coming up just a little bit short.
Kind of have to be a little deeper than that one so they don't have to duck it. But same weight, I think.
Rachel going to get Lisa Weigel to split the rings here. If she can, lay 2 points. At which point, actually, it kind of forces Kathy Auld's hand a little bit here. Rebecca, you know, does Kathy all of a sudden play the tap freeze on hers or the raise takeout? Or does she try to hit this open stone? Trying to get this rock behind the tee line if they can.
Good sweeping there by Emma and Joanne. Nice shot.
Karen making the takeout there.
It looked really good for 10.
How much? Okay. This should come up. She throws all
Joanne Courtney here going to try and make a hit on the Auld stone out here in the 12-foot, and she can hang around or even roll in. Ooh. So that's good and bad. Maybe it's good because it's back and behind cover, but bad because it's going to give Kathy Auld the opportunity with Karen Rousel to freeze to that stone.
Exactly, Rachel. Not really sure if she should sweep that or not.
4-5.
Rebecca, you had an opportunity last evening to take some of our TSL crew out onto the ice. We had the big man O'Neill and Andy and Brendan out there.
We did. We went out on sheet E. Those guys hadn't got to try curling before, and they had a blast, so that was a ton of fun.
Just curious how their muscles are this morning.
I think they may have woken up a little bit sore this morning.
O'Neill has made a friend in every corner of this building here this week. His good-natured style and that unblemished smile, just you know, you can see him coming a mile away, and you can't do anything but smile when you see the guy.
He's a great guy. He was very excited to get to meet Team Homan. He's a big fan.
Well, and he's got every lady in this building swooning over him.
It's a straight spot, but it'll curl. You can trust it. All the way out, it's not horrible.
The whole crew here at Title Sports, so great. Hopefully some of the other guys are going to get to try to throw some rocks on the ice at some point this weekend too.
Joanne Courtney going to try to hit and roll here if she can. Don't think. Nice shot by Joanne.
Gonna lay 3, but those yellow rocks are still behind the tee line, so Kathy gonna try and draw in there again.
Well, the main thing that she didn't want to do is nose this rock, because if she nosed it, it would create a fairly big pocket there for Kathy Auld to come down and freeze to. The only issue right now for Kathy Auld is that this shot here becomes very important. Like, she's got to get it in position, and or all of a sudden Rachel may have the opportunity to play a little hit and chap and really have them in trouble, because obviously Rachel laying 3 right now.
Nice shot.
That's a huge shot by Laurietti.
We can
Little sigh of relief there.
just the top.
Just peel, yeah.
So I'm surprised
Is
at
this
this
gonna
call.
help
I
us,
think
though?
because
Yeah, it
I
opens this
think
up.
Rachel has an opportunity to
Okay.
even draw to the top 8 foot. Her top 4 foot,
wanna
be in
throw a lemon at
position.
that?
Then she can always get to
think that's when we have
that
to move.
shot stone right now off this outside rock.
So we can
If we had an
blast
overhead
that.
view here,
This
you
is
could
still
kind of see
guarded.
exactly.
I can see like the whole back one, even if that top one's there.
Time.
Emma gonna come have a look. They're calling a timeout as well,
Okay.
bringing out Coach Adam Kingsbury. So maybe we can have a listen in here and see
Because if they
what
come
he
around
thinks.
again with this rock here, we're in trouble.
If that guard's not there, though, we just stuff it.
Yeah, ideally, unless she's here.
Yeah, then we can make this double.
I'm thinking like if I can get this to here, like even
It's the backing that's the problem right now.
the backing's still gonna be there if I peel this. I'm just saying if we open it, like, where's she gonna go? This is buried. She's gonna have to try to go here.
And she's still buried with that guard.
Yeah, but it's a tough shot.
But she just threw it like she doesn't even have to be anywhere close, right?
Yeah, it's just a tough shot, and if she doesn't make it, then we can
Just this
release
11 is a
that.
tough shot, right? The peel is pretty easy, and then where does she go? She can't
I just
go
don't
here
know if
'cause I
she's
just
around
run it.
again reach. We're looking at possibly steal a 2. We're gonna have to draw the button if we can't get it out.
It's your first shot, eh?
I know, but she's coming around.
You can peel that, and then you can double these, or you can slash this in. I think opening this up has a better
Okay.
opportunity than opening that up. Me too.
Okay, Rachel's just, she doesn't want to get into a bit of a draw game right now by the looks of it. She's looking to simplify her life. She's just going to peel this corner guard. And the interesting part about it is that,
Make sure I can
you know,
get it.
I don't think she's all that wrong because I can see where she's going. Obviously, I would probably like to see her play the in-turn draw because I think it creates a lot of opportunity for her. She peels this, and I'm not sure where Kathy Auld could probably freeze to the back one again and make sure that rock's kind of there for the rest of the end.
Clean, clean. Just didn't want to curl through the break point.
Rachel understands that if Kathy draws in here or tries to hit something here, so like Kathy's going to hit a rock back here, and all it's going to do is create a pocket for Rachel to kind of either freeze tap to or draw to. I think if she goes there, which is probably at this point a smart shot, it'll make sure that that rock is probably there for the rest of the end. If you hit that, if she wants to hit that other stone out wide there, all of a sudden it's going to, I think Rachel at that point can get going the offense.
I think so too. I like this draw. Sitting 1 already. Try and lay 2, that outside stone. It's only 4th shot right now.
Laurietti trying to follow her first stone down if she can. This looks like it might be a little later. Trying to go for line and weight.
Just waited a
Well.
little bit too long to sweep that. Her weight was really good.
Interesting how Rachel is, you know, she's going to try and slash this to get the other blue stone out as well. Mind you, she will roll out, and there'll be 2 yellow rocks left in the rings. See, I don't think, to me, I think the shot here is to hit and roll about 3 or 4 inches away from, or inside if she can, even right beside her other stone.
Close. Close. Up. Whoa.
Wow, she's fired this one.
You don't want to nut it. Spills one blue out, so that's good. Leaves Team Auld shot in the back 4 foot.
Real close, Em.
Didn't really come up like I thought it would.
Emma, really good form. She stabbed it a smidge there, trying to keep the weight up and also keep the handle up. And with that extra pop, it just didn't finish kind of the extra inch that Rachel was hoping for.
I thought for sure that looked around.
Kathy Auld here now going to try to come around this top rock and try to freeze her own if she can.
She's going to be all over that top blue.
Man, she's looking really, really light. I think she squashed it.
I think we have to take it out. Like even if we roll out, she's got to make a perfect roll. I think we try to roll all the way here.
Chance for Team Homan to lie 3 now.
I think. Well, I think this will come out with like board. I just don't think we can throw it here. She don't want to throw it here with high.
Yeah. Rachel should be able to come down here with just sort of hack to board weight, tap this rock through the rings, and roll towards the back 8 foot. She doesn't want to roll too far because what's going to happen is Kathy's going to come over and hit this other stone, the other yellow stone, and try to roll back under. And the one thing she'd like to do is keep her shot rock in a position where Kathy cannot hit this other one and roll in for shot rock. Kathy's going to have to play somewhat defensively. Trying to go hard for line.
Really good shot.
Homan fans in the crowd starting to get a bit more riled up as we get further into this game.
So Kathy's got 2 options here. She can throw the intern draw around everything. And she can, if she gets to the top 4 foot, she'll be in pretty good shape. The problem is that Rachel would still have a bit of a tick on her own rock to remove it. She can remove the Homan stone here at the back of the 8 foot and roll in fully buried, even if she's second shot. If she gets to be second shot, I'd say it would be a victory, because then Rachel would probably just draw for the second point. So
Team Auld going to call their first timeout.
the problem is if she draws and she misses it, it's going to be a free draw for 4 for Rachel.
Let's have a listen in.
What do you think, Mayor? There are 2 options.
Yeah, because she doesn't have much of that 8 and a hack, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to be back here.
And then if we're back here, does she not just go hoo hoo?
Well, you can't be back here. So, I mean, we can play this. We just understand we're not eliminating points probably, right?
There's nothing wrong with being like, there's nothing wrong with being right here either, is there? I mean, it's really hard for her to. What's wrong with being here?
We'd have to be even with that.
Yeah, I know, but.
Okay.
I think we have to play this.
Okay. Okay.
Team Auld kind of talking themselves into the draw here.
This is a great day for me. I just won my roll up to win.
What did you win?
Just what I need, another donut.
Hey, line's good. Shut up anything. Shut up anything.
All the coffees you've drank this week, you were owed a win.
You gotta take it. Gotta take it back.
Uh-oh, this is not looking good. They got to go hard just to try to get a piece buried. This is going to essentially be an open hit for Rachel Homan for 4 points and going to blow this game open to potentially a 6-1 lead. You know, it's funny how Kathy all week long has been absolutely stellar for this team. You know, we watched her make the huge shot in one of our feature games against Allison Flaxey to defeat her. We watched her make that tick shot over to get her second point in the 10th end. Was that against Julie Tippin? I'm trying to think of. But she has just been a tower of strength. So I fully expected her to be really close on making that perfectly. And her weight was perfect. It just obviously the line wasn't.
Yep. Really hard. Hard, Lise. Hard. Hard. Clean.
Good looking shot. Open hit. That's a 4 points for Rachel Homan. She will lead by a score of 6 points to 1 after 4 ends of play here in Coburg.
And we will be right back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Coburg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live.
You're looking like a 2-week-old haggis.
House chores.
Well, maybe it's time for a little fun.
I could use some fun.
So, what are you gonna do about it, lad?
Well, maybe if I hurry.
Hard.
Yeah. I can finish this later.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts is at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, February 18th to 26th. Come for the fun and live it live.
Welcome back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Live here from Coburg, Ontario. Right here on Title Sports Live. Well, Rebecca, that's an amazing shot by Rachel to pick up a big 4-ender that end. And if you go back to that end, you know, at one point where I wanted to see Emma draw, she ends up peeling that corner guard, and it ends up working out for them, and they end up getting a big 4 points.
It sure did. Great end by Team Homan.
Kathy Auld, you know, if she looks back at this game so far, obviously draw weight has sort of been elusive for the balance of her team. so. I think they just need to go, just plug away here and make sure that they get the corner guards in play, try to set up a deuce. You never know. There might be a mistake from the Homan team. They might get a 3 to get back in this game. Jenna Bonner, 28-year-old from Peterborough, Ontario. I'm sure John Epping is tuning in to watch his cousin here.
I told her on the TSL. Nice, Jenna.
Good shot there by Jenna.
Lisa Weigel, who has always been one of the most outstanding leads in the women's game.
Two nice shots there.
You know, and the beauty of that is those shots is that her weight control, she's top 4 foot. She's right in line, which you want to see, and they're spaced about a foot apart. So if at any point that Kathy Auld wants to nose that stone, there's going to be some space, and it makes it easier for Rachel and her team to slash it out. Jenny here going to throw the intern guard, trying to get the double guards going. Hoping to try to even up these two guards so there is no double peel possibility for Joanne Courtney. But she's going to get a free run at this double peel.
You should be pretty straight, Joe. Just through. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
It's got to be really close.
Nice shot.
Ooh.
Might be on the rings there.
I think it's a biter. Is it a biter?
I think so.
Well, it must be, because obviously Kathy's looking at playing in the rings here already.
You can still throw a corner on this side if you like, or pebble.
Kathy going to get 38-year-old Karen Rousel to throw a little out-turn tap here. Try to jiggle the rocks around and just try to rearrange some of the angles, trying to get something that she can freeze to later on in the end here.
Trying to hold the line.
Rachel going to get Joanne Courtney here just to try to pick this rock off the top of the Homan stones, just to open things up.
Great shot.
Wait, it was real close here.
Karen now going to try to freeze to this if she can. Even she can actually tap it right on the nose and stay right there.
10.
She needs to stay on this. Well, right now for Kathy Auld's team, they're looking for just a ray of light.
Okay, is it normal? Ideally, stick on the side.
So the one thing that Rachel's team doesn't want to do is start clustering these rocks together. If she does, obviously it's going to give Kathy Auld a better opportunity to secure a second stone in the rings.
Exactly. The more rocks that are in the house, the more Kathy has to freeze too. Just get it on the nose.
Well, if she can sort of corner freeze on that one, like depends on how late in the end that Kathy Auld is willing to. You know, it's a test of your nerves, in the sense of, you know, it's how much brawn you kind of have against the other team and making the shots, because she could make the intern freeze here on that stone that Emma just threw, and Rachel would not be able to get it out of the rings. But at that point, Rachel may walk over and hit the other stone.
9.5.
And wait for her to have to move her stones.
Hard, guys. It's really curling. Hard, hard. That curled. A little down? The nose is I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that.
What's down now?
Just a hair in. Sorry? Even just a hair in? Sure. I think I could use a little more.
Well, at least the main thing is, actually, she rearranged the furniture. She kept her stone in the rings. So, Rachel going to confer with Emma here.
It just really curled. Yeah.
What if we roll hair this way?
Then she freezes high jam.
Let's roll behind it then.
Straight behind it.
Yeah.
That way she has to tap down.
Yeah.
If we roll out, not in the
Yeah.
I think that the hair high is tough because she can freeze it high and I can't get it out.
Okay, let's go a little low. Okay.
Just trying to figure out where they want to leave their shooter.
Try to roll a bit behind it. Yeah, it's just.
Well,
And then it back taps it.
I think there is a double opportunity right now. If she were to roll out, there's a double opportunity for Kathy to even just hit and roll on top, or make the double and set up a two-ender here.
Same weight then?
Yep. Easy normal.
Trying to roll a bit under their other stone just so that Kathy does freeze on that one in the back forefoot. It'll be easier to remove it.
Yep. Yep. Hard to keep it there. Hard to keep it there, guys. Hard. You got it. It's pretty good spot, Em. Pretty good.
Well, that's good. Good that she removed the stone, but now this is going to give Kathy an opportunity, because there's 3 stones that are all behind the tee line. It gives her a huge opportunity to freeze to one of those, the middle stone, and it'll be very difficult for Rachel to get it out of the rings.
Wait there.
And I threw like last time. I threw the same way. And
7-8.
Trying to hold the line.
on the double I threw that
They're calling 7-8, which is T line or just behind.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're there.
Wow, that sort of curled off into a different stratosphere. Like that's somehow she's missed the line there by about well over 2 feet. So I don't know if it was just a soft release. Why it did that?
Should stay right there, I think.
I think if Rachel can throw the intern nose hit here,
A lot of finish with that number 2.
that would be her first order of business.
Up normal, Em? Yep. Okay.
Freeze again. No.
Try and roll it.
No,
obviously, the winner of this game will move on to play against Jacqueline Harrison tomorrow for the final to represent Ontario at the Scott Tournament of Hearts in February in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Whoa, whoa. Yep, yep. Hard.
Whoa,
Good
keep
job.
it there. Really good.
Great shot there by Rachel Homan.
Very nice.
Well, this is going to give Kathy Auld one opportunity here to make a freeze on the back of the forefoot. And she'll be hoping that Rachel cannot remove the stone and she'll have an opportunity for more than one. Try and get a hog-to-hog time on here on this. It's been already in around 14.5 seconds.
Okay, got lots of room right now. Lionel, or wait only. 8. Okay, no. And Lionel curl, just make sure we're T at least. Sliding, sliding, sliding.
14.75.
Right to it.
She's got a good-looking shot. They want to keep the angle here.
That's pretty good.
Touch the rock. It's not going to curl. Okay. You can hold it. Okay, nice shot.
Well, I don't think you can make them much better than that, Rebecca.
No, you couldn't ask for much better than that. Rachel's still going to take a crack at it here.
Joe, yours did nothing here with normal.
Even if she spills this blue stone out into the 12-foot, she's still going to be lying 3 in the 8-foot, so Kathy would still have to draw for 1.
Well, the beauty is at least she threw a draw with her first one, but this time it might be just a cold draw to the forefoot.
Exactly, no backing.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Great shot. Really well done. Crowd applauding that one here as well. Great shot.
Well, that is one of the towering strengths of Rachel Homan. She can throw it high, hard, and very, very accurately. And if you've got that arsenal in your bag, it's just it can defeat you, just because she's got more angles available to her, because she can throw it hard and can throw it accurate. And when she can smash rocks out like that, you know, Sherry Madaw would have a struggle with that shot.
Exactly. Rachel's one of the best in the business at those type of shots. Pretty deflating to the other team.
4 foot, guys. All you. Line's great.
1483, so that should be bang on.
Nice shot.
Nicely done there by Kathy to score her single point. So that's going to bring the score to 6-2 for Team Homan, and Team Homan will have the hammer going into the 6th end.
At which point then I think Kathy Auld's going to have to step out. She's going to have to start throwing a double center guard and try to keep chipping away. If she can keep stealing points, like, she's going to have to put her neck on the line here, because at this point, if Rachel gets a point and makes it 7-2, so it's just going to be a difficult uphill battle unless Kathy really sticks her neck out. So
That's exactly it. And our on-ice reporter, Jason Chang, down at ice level with Rachel here at the 5th end break. Jason, down to you.
Thanks very much. I'm on ice level during the 5th end break, and I am joined by the skip of Team Homan, Rachel Homan. Rachel, you're in the semifinals. Congratulations. I know your team would have probably wanted to be in the final already, being first in the round robin. 5-2 record, not bad. What has gone right for you this week?
I mean, we've had a really strong week, and Ontario's a really deep field, and it's been a lot of really tight games and really close calls, and we were able to come out with a 5-2 record, put us in the semi, and good spot for us, and we're excited to try and continue playing well the next 5 ends.
Now, you did finish the round robin with a loss. How are you bouncing back? You've bounced back very strong today. How did you regroup?
I mean, losses are always good to have in the round robin if you can afford them, to be able to learn from them and learn from the ice, learn from your mistakes, and that's what we did last night, and made sure we really regrouped this morning and made sure not to make those mistakes again.
You've got a 6-2 lead right now in the 5th end break. How do you guys keep your concentration for the last 5 ends?
Just keep focusing on process and keep being in the moment.
And how has it been playing here in an arena setting? A lot of times the Ontario Scotties are played in a club. We get to play in an arena this year. How special is that?
It's been amazing. It's the first year we've ever had provincials and a stage like this, and the crowds have been awesome, and lots of cheers, and it's been really fun to be in an arena. We really appreciate the OCA making this happen for us.
Thanks very much. Good luck for the rest of the game.
Thanks so much.
All right, that's the update from the Ice Your Device. Rachel Homan, the skip of Team Homan. Now let's go back up to the booth with Ian and Rebecca.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, it's always great to get a little inside look into the mindset of a great player such as Rachel Homan. Obviously, losing their last round robin game, and as Jason said, regrouping for this morning, and that's exactly what they've done to date. Obviously jumping out to a 6-2 lead over to Kathy Auld. In our other tiebreaker game, we've got Cody Moss has just stolen a point to tie that game after 5 ends of play.
Very close game over there. Lots of rocks in play.
Well, I know Greg Baldson doesn't like to play cautiously.
Yes.
He kind of lives life and curls the game on the edge.
He does.
But sort of the last half of the game, obviously we sort of spoke to it just prior to the Jason's interview. You know, Kathy going to have to really sort of step it up, try to get the double center guards hopefully established with Jenna's rocks. I expect that we're probably going to see the Wiggle Wick come into play here, and see if Lisa can get that happening. Obviously trying to get the rocks off the center line, because that's going to be obviously the nemesis for Rachel if she can't do that.
I think you're right, Ian. We've talked a bit this week about Team Homan's ability to defend a lead. They're so great at that, really utilizing Joanne Courtney and Emma Miskew to clear out a lot of the opponent's rocks. So I think we're going to see them using those type of shots here in the second half.
Obviously later on this afternoon at 2 o'clock we are going to have our men's 1-2 game, being John Epping up against Glenn Howard. And there'll also be a second tiebreaker game. Actually, the winner of the Moss Baldson game will go up against Dwayne Tuck Jr. So we will obviously be following that action very closely. We will have our pregame at 1:50.
Absolutely exciting day here today at the Cobourg Community Center. Going to have the men's 3 versus 4 game as well this evening at 7 o'clock. So that'll be the loser of the Epping Howard game against the winner of the next tiebreaker.
Yeah, no, actually, Scott Bailey will go up
Bailey.
against the winner of the tiebreaker.
3.
A full day of events here at the Cobourg Community Center. We've got the Hit Draw Tap competition, which is all the youngsters from all the Ontario clubs that participated in that event from their junior days. They come out and gets to show their expertise. I know Paul Savage has a grandson here today. And also this afternoon we've got our Special Olympics at 5:20. They come out and if you want to get a good reality check on life, you need to watch the Special Olympians come out here and play. It just sort of brings tears to your eyes, and it really warms your heart just seeing them out there playing. So Jenna Bonner here going to start off our 6th end of play. And she's hoping like crazy that she doesn't slip in the rings here. Like nothing can destroy your momentum more than that. Oh. So if
it's not in the rings.
Yeah. If it was close, they'd actually bring out that 6-foot measuring stick again and measure that stone.
High side.
You don't have to move very far. Push it on. Yeah.
Rachel Homan asking Lisa Weagle to make the Weagle Wick here.
11.
I think she's hoping that she just had back 8-foot weight. It sounded like an 11, so that's definitely back 12 or more.
Just punched it onto the rings. Her shooter's gonna slide through the house.
Well, she's only half an inch from making that absolutely perfectly.
Okay, 1.5 to 2 on its own. 2 on its own. It's real nice. Weight's real good. Nice throw, Jenna. Good. You want to go top 8? Or you want to go wing?
Whatever you like.
We could throw the same shot. You go by the top.
Kathy and her team played 6 different events on the World Curling Tour this year. Their best result being a semi-final loss to Julie Tippin in the Stroud Cash Spiel. Whereas Rachel and her team played 7 events plus the Continental Cup. Obviously, their best events, they had.
Go ahead, Joe.
They were a winner at the Shorty, winner at the Canadians Classic. They lost a final in the Grand Slam event to Allison Flaxey, and they also lost the final of another Grand Slam event to Jennifer Jones. So with Rachel's great performance on the tour this year, they are currently #1 in the World Curling Tour standings. And I would think that this team is really focused on trying to become the 2018 representative for Canada in Pyeongchang.
Good, nice spot.
Absolutely. Had a great shot from Lisa here. Making that tick shot, rolled her shooter onto the ring, so really well done. Asking Joanne now for the peel.
Nice shot, Karen. Don't want to, don't want to. Okay, it's curling now. Not sure if it floated. Oh, thought it was going to jam on that blue.
Rachel not going to take any chances with Joanne Courtney, just going to peel off that center guard. I expect we'll see a whole bunch of exchanges of that same shot here until Kathy gets aggressive and probably goes around her own stone, biting the top 12, trying to take it hopefully to the back 4-foot buried, trying to create a large amount of separation between those two stones, so there hopefully won't be a run back double from Rachel and her squad.
4. Yeah.
Nice shot.
A different slide on it. Hey, Karen. What's that? Just through. You can hold it.
So the question becomes, is that too early to go in?
Does give Rachel a lot of opportunities to make this shot.
Clean.
Really close.
Oh, it's really back. Oh, still floating. Great throw.
Wow. Okay.
Joanne just getting the top stone.
Half water would be down there quicker. Okay.
Kathy just gonna keep guarding now.
Really good throw, Joe.
Well, they're going to, Lorietti here is going to throw up the center guard and hope it doesn't slide too off. I think Lorietti must have a rock that is curls a little bit more. When she tried to throw that shot and the freeze, the last end, it curled off.
Roll spine. It's a real high guard, Em. Okay. You saw mine here.
Let her know if it's heavy.
Rachel going to get Emma to try to throw like a hack to board weight here. Try to remove the Auld stone and keep her shot rock in the forefoot.
Right off.
One thing she doesn't want to do is miss everything here.
No. Off. Still running. Get off.
Clean it now.
Yep. Go hard. Roll it big.
Hard roll.
Roll it big. Everything.
Great shot by Emma Miskew.
Yeah, it was solid hack. Okay. Did she say forward? Okay. Stay close.
It's really nice. They're like.
Emma's mother and father have been around all weekend, or all week.
Yes.
Forward. 4+. We're hot. Hard, guys, hard. Hard. Yeah. See? You can see.
I think Lori's got some soft hooks going on her intern here.
What's the jam?
Oh, you can barely even hit it.
Okay.
You have to go sideways to jam it.
Rachel just going to get Emma to peel this center guard off, knowing that that is her only trouble stone. Rachel's mom and dad, Art and Jeannie, hanging around, like to follow their daughter.
Yep.
Emma's parents, yes.
Emma's, sorry.
Nice shot there by Emma.
Yeah. Thanks. Just didn't want to touch yours. Yeah.
I've got to take this opportunity and salute my own wife, who's tuning in now. She's got our kids up in Bradford, in Newmarket, playing in a hockey tournament. Thanks, honey.
Yeah. We got a good time on this. It should still be quick. Quick going to the wings. Like you haven't thrown them, but it's hot. Like hot. It's too quick. Yeah, I did.
Well, Kathy's only got one option right now, and that's to
Mine's good. 6.
get fully buried around this corner guard.
Whoa, I think
one delay
slide.
shot stone.
It's not busting at all.
Yeah, we're deep. We're deep.
Secondly, if she's got any opportunity for a steal against
I don't want you to.
against Rachel, she's got to keep this in the reins.
Finish it. Yep, 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 yep. Nice shot. Okay.
Great shot by Kathy.
Very nice.
I think Rachel should shift gears here and probably draw herself. Because if she gets forced to one, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Can you see it? And I'm kind of, sorry, she's looking. How much can you see?
There's a good view of it there.
Whatever you like.
Well, the only thing I noticed there wasn't any movement until really, really late.
Yeah. Okay.
So if she goes after it, there's a likelihood that with the extra weight, it would run very, very straight and she could flash it. It's not the worst thing because the whole forefoot's still wide open for her.
Looks like she's just opting to draw. Gonna try and freeze to that stone.
Just freeze. If it's heavy, let her know. Line's important here, guys. A little faster than that, eh? Yeah.
Rachel's first stone
Everything.
here in this sixth
Line's
end.
really good.
Room. Okay, just
whoa,
go
whoa.
Don't then. Off.
Looks heavy.
No. Come up. Girl. Girl.
Just trying to hang in there.
Okay, Rach, that's good.
Just
yeah.
ends on for shot rock.
Shot it.
Well, I was thinking that too, but.
Well, two options here for Kathy Auld. She could try to hit this and sort of roll her shooter towards center line. Or she can come down and throw the exact same shot, just freeze the Homan stone, tap at about 4 inches, and remain first and second
You
shot.
don't want to just do this and sit two, eh? For one, but. Okay.
I actually like this shot. Yeah. So ideal, is it frozen or a little tap? A little tap. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm one of these guys that likes to key in on a mindset. And so her last statement there, she said frozen or a little tap. And so a lot of times
Hey, line's good.
in the skip's mind, they're thinking a little tap. And so they end up adding a little extra weight.
Absolutely, those shots are pretty precise because,
Yeah,
especially on this
yeah,
ice, depending where you put the berm, that little bit extra weight means you miss the rock completely. So, very nice shot.
They were sweeping there.
I think it's, I think Kathy is laying one only.
Same line then? Yeah.
Actually, Kathy being the professional that she is, that she didn't let anything that Jenna said bother her. I thought sometimes you just leave that thought in the back of her mind that she, they end up throwing extra weight and it runs and then she misses everything. So Rachel here, her last stone in this sixth end of play.
Same weight's great. Yeah.
Gonna throw the in-turn draw. She does have some backing. Kathy Auld laying shot rock right now.
A little wider.
Little tighter.
Whoa, off then, off.
I'm a hair tighter.
No, never.
11 is through the house weight.
Yep,
Yep.
yes! Gotta go! Gotta go!
Please.
Nice shot there by Rachel to score her single point. She'll take a 7-3 lead here going into the 7th end. We've got a little pack of highlights for you guys from the first 6 ends. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coburg Community Center. This women's semi-final match at the Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Our feature sheet D. Team Homan versus Team Auld. Team Homan leading 7-2. Team Auld will have the hammer here, playing the 7th end. So Lisa Weagle's first rock just in the top 12 foot. Maybe not quite as deep as they would have liked it. But Kathy Auld now gonna throw up the corner guard. Jenna Bonner here with her first stone.
Nice shot. Top 8, top 4.
Well, if Kathy were to somehow manufacture a 3-ender here and then steal a point, could be a really interesting finish.
Absolutely.
6. No, I think it's good.
Yeah, line.
6, 7.
Whoa. Run the team. Run the team.
Team Homan gonna be working hard
Where is it?
to try and force Team Auld to a single point here this end.
Yeah,
It's gonna crash then. It's
7.
gonna crash. I let it crash. Okay. It just dies. Okay. It's okay.
Obviously, Kathy Auld being a 9-time Ontario provincial participant is going to try to pull out some of the wily veteran moves here. Maybe even throw out a little smoke and angle a few mirrors.
It ended up being like it came down I think 2 feet. Just from like
Tighter, I think. It's tighter.
whereas a few ends ago it was not stopping.
She just threw that softly. She just threw it softly.
Just over the hog
She threw
line.
that softly.
Good sweeping there.
Sorry, I coughed in your face.
Sorry, that was a hard.
Yeah, you did. It was just soft to throw. It was. Yeah.
In our men's tiebreaker game on the adjacent sheet,
If anything, we don't have to touch it.
we've got Greg Baldston leading Cody Moss by a score of
Maybe not as much rotate.
3-2. Moss having the hammer here in the 7th end.
Yeah.
The look on your face, I had no idea. Sorry.
Well, this is the first time we're going to see kind of the double corner guard.
Yes. Just so you know, Ian, I know you like Team Moss's jackets. I was talking to Scott McDonald, and he said that color is actually called tennis ball yellow.
Tennis ball yellow.
Yeah.
3-4.
Well, it reminds me of the
2-3.
the 90s neon.
Yes. That's a nice shot.
Well,
from
it's
Karen.
that color is definitely vibrant, and it definitely draws your eyes to them.
Absolutely.
You know, if we look at a lot of the color amongst all the teams, that they're sort of muted tones, if you want to call them that. So, Joanne Courtney here, going to try to just make the one peel. Kathy now having her one corner guard established, and actually where the Homan stones are in the top of the rings, I'm not sure that Rachel would be is overly thrilled with their location, but Kathy may be able to utilize those stones as guards as well. Get rocks buried back in the back 12-foot. Well, Karen has struggled early in this game with draw weight.
6, 7.
Trying to get this one behind.
Plus.
She may need a little wick here. Oh, just gets by.
Good.
And perfectly thrown.
Nice shot.
That thing
Pretty
just
nicely buried.
wound right in at the end, did it not?
It sure did.
Nice shot, Karen.
Emma Miskew here. Just going to throw the one peel. And just misses clipping her own stone up a bit if she could.
I know. Your face said it all.
Well, here we go. Actually, Kathy Auld has got an opportunity here with Lori Eddy's first stone here to try to draw it around and get it to the back 8 foot, hopefully fully buried. At which time, Rachel's probably going to walk over and hit the open Auld stone, and then it's going to give Lori Eddy another opportunity to go around
8.
those stones. But this is...
It's a little light trying to switch gears here and freeze it to that stone.
I just think that she's got an absolute cutter. And they're just not either picking up on it or just not icing her for it.
15, 7.
Cutter being a stone that is a little bit sharper. Curls a little bit more.
I think 15, 7 is
And that rock looks like it's curling of upwards of, you know, a foot to 2 feet more.
Yes, well, she has had one stone almost every end that did over curl, so you're right, you kind of have to be a little bit suspect if that's the same rock every time.
Okay.
Nice shot by Emma Miskew. Well, usually for these playoff games, the teams have the option of taking rocks from whichever sheet.
Board, she said? Yeah?
Same.
Because there's another game going on here, they may have imposed that they had to keep using the same rocks from this sheet. But I do know for the final game, in the 1-2 game, they pretty well get to take rocks from whatever sheet.
No, Karen.
teams keeping close track all week of which stones they like, which stones they don't like, so that when they do get to that final, they know which pairs they want.
At all. Sit.
They've had some extra practice times as well throughout the week where they get to come out here on the sheets, and
If anything, I thought I was
a lot of teams spend some of that time trying to match the stones.
It really curled here for me.
Yeah, I like the size.
A hair more. We're already hitting almost where we need to.
Every evening after the last draw has completed, seemingly every sheet was full with teams taking advantage of that extra practice as well.
If we can get rid of some rocks, Sam, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, if we hit like 2/3, I think both go.
Just careful the jam on the back, eh? If we clip that.
There's no jam on. Oh, if it wicks?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch it. We'll just try to go through.
Okay.
Rachel just going to try to slash this Laurietti stone out, and if she can sort of remove a lot of her own stones at the same time, I think she'll be that would be her first order of business here.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Bullets.
It's gonna come up a hair. It's coming up big.
Good.
Really good.
Sends it right through those two yellow.
That's a heck of a pick by her.
The crowd likes that one.
Well, Kathy recognized right now that her options are extremely limited. She's still going to try and get this stone around. She needs to be second shot at worst. There is that double at the top of the rings looks like it's very steep. So that's why she needs to be at least second shot, knowing that she'd be able to remove Rachel's shot stone and possibly get two. But if she slips through the rings here, it's going to give Rachel the opportunity to tap her own stone, and Kathy might even be hard pressed to score.
Whoa, you're fine right now. Still fine. Still fine. Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard.
Going hard to get it by. Going hard to get it by.
Okay, I heard 9, so.
Well, I mean, 8's pretty close to 9.
Her weight was perfect.
It was very, very nice.
A little. You're
Just
rolling me back here.
just a millimeter to get it by.
Great throw.
Well, Rachel's going to try to nose this stone if she can. She doesn't want to take any chances, but if she can get to the inside, they're going to make it very difficult for Kathy to score. If she hits and rolls away, Kathy's going to have the exact same draw again for her single.
Just a hair more in? Sure.
Yep. Queen. Queen.
Rachel not taking any chances here, just going to slash that stone out and force Kathy Auld to take her single point.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure we didn't, like your rollout came up, so I just want to make sure we hit it.
Kathy electing to throw the in-turn hit here to get her single point rather than throw the same draw.
Nicely done. She'll score her single point there in the 7th end. So Team Homan will take a 7-3 lead with the hammer going into the 8th end. And we will be right back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Coburg, Ontario, only on Title Sports Live.
You're looking like a 2-week-old haggis.
House chores.
Well, maybe it's time for a little fun.
I could use some fun.
So, what are you gonna do about it, lad?
Well, maybe if I hurry.
Hard!
Yeah. I can finish this later.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts is at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, February 18th to 26th. Come for the fun and live it live.
Welcome back to the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts, live from Coburg, Ontario, right here on Title Sports Live. My name is Ian Tetley, and I'm here with Rebecca Wicker-Schur and Jason Chang and our whole TSL crew. Our guys have done a phenomenal job putting together all these great imagery.
Yeah, you're a nice 11 weight.
Been doing an amazing job all week.
It's a little solid.
Well, we know these guys are good because they seem to be quick studies last night in their curling lessons.
They did. They're naturals.
Lisa playing her wick here. Looks like she's going to be a little heavy and remove it from play. So they will replace that stone.
It was just touching the line. Yeah. Like maybe I was a little deeper, pretty sure. It's right.
That was right. It's up to you, really.
So being that Kathy Auld is the non-offending team, gets to replace her stone. To approximately the location that it was. She would, a lot of times they confer with the on-ice officials. Jenna Bonner here they're trying to go hard to get this thing by, just to create that double center guard scenario.
Just rubbing that top stone. Was looking really nice.
Same thing? Sure. You got more space to hit it now. I still think we need a little less.
Yeah.
Not much, but a little bit.
Lisa gonna try this tick again.
Should be good.
Room.
Out there.
Stay with it. Clean it. Yep. Yes. Gotta go. Gotta go. Hard. Off. Clean. Yep. Can't hurt it. Go big, Joe. Hard. Yep.
Nice one.
Very nice shot by Lisa.
Can't tell you how important those shots are to a team, especially when you're trying to play defense. You've got the hammer. It's getting late into the game. When she can clear those stones off center line, it just makes a skip's life so much easier.
Oh, it's huge. And it can really deflate the other team as well Team Auld had 2 guards up there, and all of a sudden the situation's a lot better for Team Homan.
Well, great shot there by Karen Rousel. There's a slight angle there for Joanne Courtney to try the double peel.
Yep.
Yep.
Just gets the top one.
Nice shot, Karen. Okay. Avoid that.
Yeah.
That was a good throw.
Kathy going to get Karen Rousel to repeat that shot, trying to get a second center guard up. Karen resides in Uxbridge, Ontario.
3. Right to it. That's it.
Well, they're just going to decide. Oops, sorry.
Just they got them pretty close together. So Joanne coming to have a look at this, see how she can make a double.
Okay. My head's the exact same number. Yeah. Still thin. Make sure we get contact. Like even if it rolls, I got a spot here. Big peel. That'll go with a quarter. Yeah, I think right where you let it go. Just clean through.
How much? Okay.
A third is pretty close too.
So having been a second, and you are also a second,
Just through, we can hold it.
the one thing Joanne has to try to avoid here is trying to make this double just because it's so thin. A lot of times you pump up the weight a bit. And if you get any type of motion on your release,
Yep.
get any motion on this, sometimes they flash it, but look, she looks really good. What a
Great shot.
That's a tremendous shot by Joanne Courtney.
That was a really nice shot. Joanne getting some encouragement from the crowd on that one.
It is. It's a little far over there. All right. Speed's the same though. Five.
Yeah. Mine's good. Yeah.
Karen. 5. Yep. Keep it moving.
Trying to go around that yellow guard.
At this point, Rachel's just going to try to.
Yeah, I think it'll go straight. Oh. So you know, that's where it went. I can take the end. We've seen it. I have tons of room.
Okay.
Normal.
Just going to try to hit this and roll to the
Yeah, I have like half a rock on the outside.
top of the forefoot.
We can roll out on the inside too.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want her to jam or to nose this thing, because if she noses it, Kathy will use it as a guard and go right around it.
Make sure I'm normal. Just make sure he gets
Easy.
it. Clean.
Go.
Yep. Clean.
Yep. Whoa. Off. Let it come up. Got it, girl. Good spot, Em.
We're hoping to roll it a bit more than that, but not a bad shot from Emma. Kathy calling still just to try to use that rock in the 12-foot as a guard, come around it into the back of the house.
Yeah, it wasn't normal. Like when you were throwing there, you were throwing more like easy, normal control. I don't think she called normal for you. I just want to make sure it takes off my flash. It's not so good.
Well, when I did the ring buck roll, like I was 3/4 high in the can.
Yeah.
Seven!
Yeah.
Mine's really nice.
I can play like lightweight at this and just move the guard off, like kind of split. Did I explain the house?
There's that rock again from Lori coming up a little bit light and over curling.
Rock over towards the center line. Right, because you were sweeping out to the wings.
You don't like splitting the rings,
A lot
eh?
of movement with that suckers, or
Splitting the rings?
am I getting a lot of?
Either way, she needed.
Actually, this is fine.
Sorry.
This is fine.
We might have been able
Well, they
to
called
drag
7
them
out of my
Good.
hand,
Playing top
Real
four.
quick.
So I
How
had
far
better
apart are
kick
they?
than the last one.
Come look if you want.
I can't jam and I can't flash, so.
Just over a rock.
The angle's just like, the yellow's slightly this way. So
Yeah, that could be it.
I can't miss wide or tight here. I'm just wondering if it's easier to make that play. Yeah. Like,
Yep.
Oh, I don't mind it.
okay, she can roll behind. I guess she rolls behind you. I'm just, it is nose. It's just the yellow's slightly wider.
Okay, I don't mind right here then. Okay. T, pull 8.
Yep.
I threw this.
Good
It's all-
discussion
it's
there
all up
about
to
where
speed
to
here.
place this
Yeah.
stone. Just gonna split the rings.
It's like a 15, eh? Okay. Yeah, like just higher the tee so that it's a harder freeze, but at least top 4 like height. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Line's tight.
I think it's good, guys. Stay close. It looks good.
One thing that Rachel does not want to do here with Emma Stone is go too deep. She wants to make sure she keeps it in front of the tee line.
Okay. No, don't want to curl. Make sure it's T-line. Just keep
Yep,
drilling
yep.
it. Looks good.
15 and a half seconds on that.
Gotta go, guys. Hard, hard, hard. Keep going.
Seemed to wind in there at the end.
A little bit, yes.
She lays 2.
Like she could just play the same shot she called for Lori
So
and try,
knows
because you can be
this.
full 8 foot.
And then if she noses, we might have something there. Or do we do a hit and long roll here?
Or that, yeah. Way to get there.
What do you like better?
If I was Kathy Auld right now, I would throw a center guard.
Yep. I would
It's almost
think,
like you're all in,
Yep.
and then poker.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's got there's no angles, and you're almost hoping that she misses. Even if Rachel scores 1 point here, it's 8-3. It's pretty well our insurmountable lead. Throw a center guard about 4 feet from the rings, so if she tries to peel it, it can go into either one of Rachel's own yellows.
All right, 9.5.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa. Nope. No, 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 no. Not moving at all. 10. That didn't budge.
Well, unfortunately, Kathy's going to hit and roll out here. It's going to give Rachel the opportunity to replace that stone.
Yeah, no, you threw it well and you had a time, and so it's just.
I was tight and then couldn't extend, so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, just tee's fine. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm trying to think about where is the perfect spot to put this stone that Kathy cannot use it. Because if you put it on the anywhere on the tee line, she's going to try the same. I think she's going to try and throw the same hit and roll and just get buried behind all the other stones. Mind you, it's a pretty easy run for Rachel. If you're behind the tee line, she's going to freeze to it.
And if you're a bit high, she's going to draw around something.
As it come down, see it then.
Correct. I think maybe just middle of the 8 foot, maybe even touching the edge of the 4 foot, right on tee line. So if she does try to freeze, there's got to be some angle to it, and then it would just be a nose hit for Rachel for her 2 points.
Make sure it's T-line. Make sure it's T-line. Feels light. You gotta go, guys. Drag that.
Go.
Wow, we're really going to have to go on this. This is going to be a guard.
Push hard, guys. You gotta go.
Keep going.
15-6. They may be able to get it in for second shot stone here.
Never off. Go.
Great sweeping by these young ladies.
Keep going. Deeper. Go.
Nice sweep, guys.
Really good sweep.
Joe.
Great job by Lisa and Joanne to drag that rock.
It's real slow.
Yeah. Look at my shot.
Your line is very different, right? We were here, and then edge of floor. It's very different.
Yeah, but then it's just a short little diss at least.
And even the freeze, like Rachel just throws it so hard. It's
Okay, well you had a 10 on the last one with a 10. Okay. So same weight? Okay.
okay. Same shot. So 10? Okay. No, and I just said she throws them so hard.
Well, Kathy discussing there what her options are. She kind of feels that her only option is to
I like it.
hit and roll in behind
Yeah. 10.
the other stones in the rings of Homan and her own.
Hairless! Hairless!
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Looks like it's curling up. Does it have a chance for the roll?
Just gets it on the nose.
We have lots of
So Rachel Homan has Rachel Homan's going to have an opportunity for the open hit here for 2 points, which will be a 9-3 lead, and I fully expect that we will have handshakes.
Just a little more. Just middle. Thanks. Yeah, high and middle's good. Straight through. This should float. Yeah, right through.
Yep. Off. Clean. Yep.
This is looking good. They're just dusting, so that's going to be 2 points for Rachel Homan. And there's the handshakes. So that will be a 9-3 victory for Rachel Homan here in this semifinal game. And we'll get to meet Jacqueline Harrison tomorrow in the final to represent Ontario at the Ladies on Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Great game by Team Homan. Nice huddle there. They played so well here today. That's got to feel good going into the final tomorrow.
That was a dominant performance by the Rachel Homan team. They've got to be excited, and obviously for Kathy Auld, once again, another great run. I think that's the 5th time that she's lost in the semifinals of the Ontario Scotty. So
You're absolutely right. Experienced team there. Experienced skip and Kathy Auld, but couldn't quite pull it out today against Rachel Homan. Our on-ice commentator, Jason Chang, down at ice level.
yeah, we're going to throw it down to Jason. He's with our friend and good friend, Jim Rock Bottom Wilson.
Thanks very much, Ian and Rebecca. And Rachel Homan, a dominant performance here on our feature sheet, a 7-3 win, and she moves into the final. I'm joined by Jim Wilson. He is the coach of the John Epping team. Of course, we're going to be seeing John Epping in action against Glen Howard at 2 o'clock, the 1-versus-2 game. Jim, John's having a great week so far, 8-1 in the round robin. That's first place in the 1-2 game with hammer and choice of rocks.
Yeah, it's been a good week so far, and you basically get into the 1-2 game. That's where you want to be, and you're playing the team. It's no surprise who we're playing, and both teams had a great week and are great teams.
Now, your team and the Howard team had a great battle on Thursday nights. Howard took an early lead, but you guys clawed back. There were a few mistakes near the end of the game. Was it the ice conditions, a little lack of concentration there at the end?
No, I think the ice just changed a little bit, and both teams have to fight that. And when you see lots of practice on the ice, although the Foghorn and the ice crew have done a great job with the ice, it looks really great this morning. So it's going to be a great game today.
What are you expecting? A lot of rocks in play this afternoon?
Well, I think both teams are very experienced, especially Glen. So it's just a matter of who performs the best, and I think it's going to be just a great final, great 1-2 game.
Well, the nice thing about the 1-2 game is the winner goes to the finals directly. The loser still has a second chance. Does that take a little bit of the pressure off on the teams?
Well, I think so. It sure is nice to win that 1-2 game, so you get some rest and you're ready to go on Sunday.
Well, good luck, Jim, to the Team Epping rink. Join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for that 1-2 game, Team Epping against Team Howard. Now let's go back up to the booth with Ian and Rebecca.
Thank you, Jason. Obviously, there's one other game out here this morning. Tiebreaker game between Cody Moss and Greg Baldston, and after 8 ends of play, it's a tie game at 4 points apiece. So a nice close one there. The winner of that game will go on to meet Wayne Tuck this afternoon in the second tiebreaker game. But in our feature game here this morning, Rachel Homan taking a very dominant victory over Kathy Auld and finds her way into the final. What are your expectations with respect to the final tomorrow, Rebecca?
Oh, wow. Well, both those ladies have been playing so well. Team Homan and Team Harrison. Team Harrison getting that top spot through round robin play, so they've been looking really good here all week. Neither of these skips really scared to play with rocks in play. Jacqueline been doing really well managing the house so far, so should be another interesting game. We'll see how aggressive they choose to get in that final game.
Obviously, Jacqueline Harrison has had Rachel's number the last 3 times she's played her. Jacqueline has beaten her, so we'll see if she can continue her winning ways against Rachel. But I think after Rachel regrouped, they showed a very impressive victory here this morning to get into that final. So going to be an exciting time tomorrow. So please make sure you tune in to Title Sports Live for the live coverage of that game. This afternoon, obviously, we've got our 1-2 men's game, which will be John Epping against Glen Howard. Battle of the Titans here. Both teams having visions of winning here and going on to the the Tim Hortons Briar.
Oh boy.
Showing my age there.
Dated yourself a bit there.
So we would like to take this time to thank all our viewers for stopping in and watching our coverage of the 2017 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts live here from Cobourg, Ontario. On behalf of Rebecca, Jason, and our crew, we would like to say good morning, and we'll see you this afternoon.